He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. Welcome to Redesigning Smash, a series where we take a look at current Smash movesets and give them a new lick of paint. The aim of this is to modernize or declone different characters so that they're more representative of their in-game appearances. As you may have guessed, this time we're taking a look at Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is here. Donkey Kong was one of the original 12 characters from the first Smash Bros. Game and hasn't changed too drastically since then. Because of this, I feel like he suffers from being one of the most generic fighters in the game, even to this day. Generally, his moveset consists of various punches and kicks, with DK always seeming to have an angry expression when attacking. Across his many games though, he does a whole lot more than just this, and has so much personality. Bringing some more variety into DK's kit is the main focus of this redesign, so he'd hopefully feel like a more interesting character than he does at the moment. I'll be taking inspiration from his wide range of appearances, including the Donkey Kong Country games, as well as DK64 and a few others to build this moveset. With that said, let's get right into it. Here's Coconut Gun. Can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. That's right, for his neutral special, DK wields a gun. And not just any gun, this is his signature weapon from Donkey Kong 64. As the name suggests, this move would involve DK firing coconuts at his opponents. When thinking about the specifics of how this move would work, I wanted to ensure that I would accurately represent DK64 without compromising on DK's offensive playstyle. For this reason, as far as projectiles go, it would be pretty dynamic and aggressive, allowing players to move and jump around freely while using it just like in DK64. Coconuts could be fired individually or in spurts of 3 if the player were to repeatedly tap the B button. They'd shoot out rapidly with very little startup lag, although the end lag after shooting a full burst of 3 would be quite noticeable. Naturally, if these coconuts were to make contact with an opponent, it would most definitely hurt like the DK rap suggests. Think of them as weaker but significantly faster K-Rool cannonballs. Now, you may be wondering, what's the catch? Well, the coconut gun would have lower range compared to a lot of other projectiles, encouraging players to use it in a more aggressive manner. This would be an interesting contrast between DK and K-Rool, with both of them using projectiles for their respective neutral specials. The key difference being that DK's would be used very offensively, while K-Rool's is used more defensively. I think that having more parallels like this between the Kong and the Kremlin King is a cool concept, and would help to amplify the existing rivalry between them. Now for DK's side special, I'm going to be pulling from an aspect of the Donkey Kong Country games that isn't really represented in Smash, that being the animal buddies. Of course the most iconic one is Rambi, so for his side special, DK would now use the Rambi charge from Donkey Kong Country 2. Rambi would burst out of his crate and DK would hop on his back and charge straight forwards towards the opponent. Upon contact, Rambi would use his horns to knock the opponent back, sending them flying. After this charge, he'd then promptly disappear, allowing DK to continue the fight. While Rambi would be invulnerable during this move, DK would still be susceptible to attack and could potentially be knocked off. If this were to happen, Rambi would continue charging forward for a little bit before shortly disappearing afterwards. For the up special, this would bring the barrel cannon into play. Instead of borrowing a technique from Dixie Kong and spinning around, he would instead launch himself out of a barrel in a direction of your choice, a bit like Fox's recovery. The initial blast from the cannon would be able to damage opponents, but you'd need to be careful when using this move as the barrel would be susceptible to being broken by other attacks. As for Donkey Kong's down special, this one dates back to Donkey Kong's oldest appearance, or rather Cranky Kong's oldest appearance, the original arcade game. Here, DK would roll a barrel forwards, which would break upon contact with an opponent. The coolest thing about this move is that, just like in the arcade game, one of its biggest uses would be rolling the barrels off the ledge. Doing so would allow DK to catch recovering opponents off guard, just like Cranky used to do to Mario. Or should I say Jumpman. Additionally, the player would also be able to pick up the barrels cargo style and lob them towards the opponent for an alternative use. Overall, these changes would hopefully provide DK with a more versatile kit. With Donkey Kong's neutral attacks, there are a few things I'd like to take from Donkey Kong 64. One change I'd make is to his jab. Instead of the 1-2 punch he has at the moment, I'd bring in his attack from DK64, which is a 3-hit combo of 2 big swipes followed by a slam. I always found this move to be pretty comical. I love how his hands just turn massive as he uses it. Also from the Kong's N64 outings is a new down air. In this redesigned moveset, the ground pound, or simian slam as I should say, would replace the stomp that he has currently. The move would still act as a spike and would be reasonably forgiving to land, with the main difference being that it would be a suicide attack, thus being an overall riskier option. Lastly, I do love having the roll as DK's dash attack, but if I were to change it out for anything, it would be this weird lunge kick thing from DK64. Donkey Kong would propel himself forwards using his arms and kick outwards into the opponent, and like his current dash, it would string nicely into his aerial attacks. The roll is iconic though, and would probably live on through his down tilt, and possibly even his back throw, Toon Link style. There's actually a game here that I'd like to pull from, which isn't from the Donkey Kong series, that being Punch-Out! DK was a secret challenger in this game, and was a very cool opponent with some really interesting attacks. As such, for his forward smash I'd love to see him put on a boxing glove and punch the opponent. This would be another parallel with K. Rool, who similarly throws out a punch for his own smash, drawing from the final boss fight of DK64. Remember how I removed DK's old hand slap to make room for his new down special? Well, for his new down smash, we're bringing it back again, and about time too. I do like this move since it's a neat idea and does take inspiration from Donkey Kong Country, but I feel like it would be more appropriate here rather than taking up a whole special slot. This repurposed move would involve DK slapping the ground twice and would hit opponents directly in front of him, coming out slightly faster than his forward smash. In a similar vein to Game & Watch's down smash, this move would bury opponents briefly, and like Bayonetta's, if positioned correctly, it could be used to spike mid-air opponents at the ledge. I'd keep his up smash the same though, since the clap is iconic, and now that it's no longer being used for his forward smash, it still needs to stay in some form. I do like Donkey Kong's current final smash. It's a very satisfying attack to land and is a neat, albeit unexpected callback to Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. In terms of changing it though, there were two main ideas I had in mind. The first of which was his special shot from Mario Strikers Charged. Here, DK leaps up into the air and with a massive lightning-infused clap smashes the football down towards the goalie. It's a literal thunder clap. And I never really thought of it that way. That's actually really smart. The second final smash idea I had was the ending cutscene of Donkey Kong Country Returns, where DK somehow managed to punch the moon out of orbit, sending it crashing down into Tiki Tong Tower. I mean, I'm not even gonna question it. Both of these are pretty insane attacks and I had a hard time deciding between them. Until I realised that I didn't even have to. For this new final smash, Donkey Kong would throw out a punch and any opponent's hit would be taken into a cinematic cutscene. DK would leap into space and instead of merely punching the moon, he'd instead use his mighty thunderclap from Strikers, sending it hurtling down into the stage, crushing any opponents beneath it. A deadly attack for sure, but one most definitely befitting of the first member of the DK crew. I decided to make a couple of changes to DK aesthetically, but nothing too major. Generally, across all his moves, his expressions would overall be more happy and carefree, with his attack animations being considerably looser. This had helped to reflect his more laid-back, playful attitude that he's been showing in recent appearances. I'd also give him a taunt where he'd do the little dance he does in Donkey Kong Country, because it's just a fun idea and would help to accentuate Donkey Kong's fun-loving personality. I've always found this weird shaking taunt to be pretty boring, so it would serve as a replacement for that. And that's it for today. Let me know what your thoughts are on this redesigned Donkey Kong moveset, and if you have any of your own ideas for how he could play, I'd love to hear them. Personally, I haven't really had much experience with the Donkey Kong Country games since I grew up playing DK64, so I tried to represent the games as well as possible with the limited knowledge that I have. As always though, if you want to see me take a look at any particular characters in future, feel free to let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Take it to the fridge.